Today, we are going to once again continue into part 3 of our conversation with Sir Kaya Redford that we had previously. Today's episode, we're uncovering some powerful tools that can fast track your journey to whatever it is that you are looking for. No more spending 2 decades to reach your goals. With the right mindset, the right communication tools, and an understanding of the art of programming, you can achieve your 20-year plan in record time.
We interviewed a bunch of leaders and we found that a lot of people are frustrated because, and this may not be you, might be you. They're frustrated because they don't feel like they have the financial freedom. They don't feel like they're free of their time. They feel like they're chained to their jobs, or they're chained to their sales job, or they don't have their wealth, and they don't have their freedom, and they're getting older. And it's like, when am I really going to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel where I can really retire and be free? And so what we're saying is, when you learn these tools, you get there faster. You don't need to spend the next 20 years of your life busting your balls trying to get to somewhere. When you can collapse time with powerful tools, you can achieve your 20-year goal, not in 10 years, not in 5 years. You can even achieve your 20-year goal in a matter of 6 months to a year. By getting unstuck. Yeah.
Yes.
Why? Because how are we going to get to our goal when we're procrastinating?
No. Yeah.
How are we going to get to our goal when we have fear, when we have anxiety, when we have stress, when we have, overwhelm, when we have limiting beliefs, when we have that's why. Like, once you get rid of the stuff that's in the way, that's the third piece that I didn't get into. I talked about mindset. We talked about communication a lot, which we wanted to do. The last one is programming. Programming. Oh, no, you're not going to program me, are you, Kaya? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm too late to that. We've been programmed the moment we were born by our parents, by our teachers, by our schools, we've been programmed. The question is, if you look at the movie The Matrix, is that program working? Right? Most people would say they were raised by parents that were not wealthy, were not successful, didn't necessarily find out the secrets to life. They might have been happy, they might have not been happy, but most people have learned about success in life from someone who isn't the perfect example of success. I'm not saying as you're listening to this, I'm not saying that you might not have had an incredible father, incredible mother. And if you did, and if you do today, you are so blessed. So many people, I'd say 95 to 97% of this world does not have that blessing to be that fortunate to have had that type of person to raise them. And if you did, you're darn lucky. And if you didn't, it means that you learned probably the process of not being successful, the process of not being effective from people that struggled. God bless them. Nothing wrong. They were on their journey. So we picked up bad habits. We picked up, things that don't serve us. Right. So the last piece, programming, is, you want the newest iPhone, you want the newest Android, you want the newest computer. You're going to update the software of your phone. You're going to get a better phone, a better car, a better technology. But how come most of us, 97% of people, there's statistics that are horrendous, that people don't read books, that people don't do personal growth. So we buy the latest technology, but what is the greatest piece of software and hardware that we should be upgrading?
Your mind. Yeah. Exactly.
Your own system, your own nervous system, your own communication skills, your own mindset, your own behavior. You are a master computer, but yet we're spending money on purses and boots and shoes and watches and this and that and phones, but yet we're not investing in the one thing that will carry us to our freedom. So I say, let's update the software of our mind. Let's update the software of our own communication, our own strategies, so we can become successful. And then if you want to go buy all that stuff, go buy all that stuff. At least you won't be stressed and you'll be able to enjoy it more, because you'll also live a longer life. Another thing we talk about is health. Huge. Health. Most people they are overcompensating. They're working so hard to get to a goal that they neglect self-care.
Right. Yeah.
Kaiser.
And I dare
Kaiser.
say that happens to more, I want to say that would happen to more women than
Yeah.
men, but my podcast partner would argue otherwise. It would happen, so maybe we only see it from our own limited perspectives, but I
I
totally
think
feel what you're putting down.
Yeah, no, totally. As a mother, my sister, she just we have a training, and she was on there last night, and she just shared. She said, and she's just joined our training, and I've just recently been so blessed that my son is going through it, my own sister's going through it finally as well, and she said her biggest issue is time.
Yeah.
She's got a career. She's now starting a second career. She now has 4 kids. She's cooking. She's chauffeur. She's
Oh my
doing all this
gosh.
stuff. It's like, it's not sustainable. And
Yeah.
who does she neglect? What do a lot of
Yeah.
mothers do? I'm not saying fathers don't do it too. Some fathers do too, but we end up putting ourselves last.
Yes,
And when you put
exactly.
yourself last, one of the things, I know there's some controversy around Oprah Winfrey these days, so I maybe not quote her a little bit less. But has said some impactful things. One person at one point said, I used to really like Oprah in the beginning, and then now she became this billionaire, and she's so full of herself. When Oprah heard that they said, "Oh, I'm so full of myself," she said, "Thank you." She said, "I want to be so full of myself that I'm like a battery, that I'm so full. My battery is so full that I'm overflowing and I'm able to give to more people." So I'm not
I love
endorsing her.
that.
I'm not endorsing her. Hopefully, whatever journey she's on, and she gets to, step into.
It's absolutely, I totally agree. I mean, just on that note, I feel that we have to sort of almost separate the person from the contributions,
Correct.
right? So, for example, like Sir, Isaac Newton,
Yes.
he was part of a slave trade. He was a slave trader. But what are you going to do? Are you going to deny
Right.
gravity? Well, of course you're
Right.
not, right? And
Very
so
good.
we
Yeah.
often forget that all of these folks that have achieved so much, we put on pedestals and we, look up to them so highly. And so
They're not perfect.
they're
I'm
a
not
human
perfect.
being, right?
They're human
They're
being. Yeah.
flawed like everybody
And
else. And
we
I feel like we have to take it that way. And their contributions is their contributions.
Yep. And maybe just her discernment, maybe her discernment. And so, yeah, absolutely. So
Absolutely.
programming, transformation, I would say that's the biggest piece, because you can learn the mindset, you can learn the communication skills, but at the end of the day, that means nothing if you don't take action.
Yes.
So something has to, and one of the big issues we find, all the clients that we coach that are, in leadership roles, sales roles, influence roles, is they kind of know what they need to do. I would suggest that most people know what you need to do. Most people know that there's a benefit to waking up early in the morning, getting to the gym, doing your meditation or your prayer, doing your breath work, writing your to-do list the night before, being structured, organized, being accountable, having discipline. Most people know kind of that stuff. Eating the right foods, making healthy choices, not eating so much sugar, throwing some greens in there. Yeah. We know what we need to do.
Intellectually know that.
But how many people actually do it?
Right, exactly.
So it's not knowing, it's doing. And so the programming piece is, most people talk a good game. They talk a good talk, but they don't walk the talk. Their behavior does not match their words. So if you're watching this, especially as we started the show today, as an employee wanting to become an entrepreneur, you need to develop a new muscle. You need to become this new person. And so for you to conceptually have an idea that I want to go out there and do it, but you're not doing the habits, you're not doing the behaviors, waking up early in the morning, having your to-do list, being committed, being disciplined, eating the right foods that will sustain your energy to do what you need to do, being hungry for personal growth, you're either growing or you're dying.
Yes, absolutely.
Wasn't
it Jocko Willink had said, this is so funny because my son, my 11-year-old, we got him The Way of the Warrior Kid, written by Jocko Willink.
Oh, nice.
And so he knows. I said, do you know what discipline is? And then he's like, yeah, discipline is freedom.
Oh, yes. It's so amazing you said that, because if I want to be like really, really just transparent, I'm the guy who's maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was the guy that I'm talking to now. I was that person that was very blocked. I grew up, my dad was a petroleum engineer and he was a workaholic. He was always gone. He got an assignment in Algeria, third world country. I'm the youngest of three kids. They flew, my mom, my dad, and three siblings, to Algeria. My mom didn't speak the language. She didn't know anybody. She had no support structure. She knew nothing. And my dad is now gone all the time.
Right.
She doesn't not drive. She doesn't speak the language. She doesn't know anybody. So she was very stressed, and him and his, I always say best laid plans. We always try to make the best decision that we can for our kids. His best decision was to hire help so he could go and lead and hire help. Well, because my parents both grew up very sheltered, they didn't grow up with families and parents, grandparents in this case, that taught him street smarts. They ended up hiring the wrong help. They ended up hiring manipulators, psychopaths that saw an opportunity to come into a very naive family and take advantage of the money and take advantage of many other things. So off topic today, but I'm a person that went through a lot of trauma at a very young age in life. And I survived. Thank God I survived the times. I went through my 20s and my 30s very, very blocked. And I did not know why I was blocked. No purpose, no direction, no self-worth, no self-esteem. Would you believe I used to stutter when speaking to more than 2 or 4 people? And now I speak to 500 or 1,000 people. But back in the day, I used to sweat. My forehead sweat. My palms were sweaty. I used to have complete anxiety breakdowns, the idea of any public speaking. And I had so many issues. And these tools saved my life. Just like Sean on the linoleum floor, these tools saved my life. I wouldn't be the person I am today. And honestly, now I look at my past and I bless it, because I knew there was a higher vision, a higher plan. I went through all of that pain because one of my coaches said, when you go through pain in your life, this is very wise. I know we're off topic, but this is very wise for someone that wants to hear this. When you go through a lot of pain in your life or trauma in your life, it gives you a superpower. And that superpower is it gives you X-ray vision into the suffering of other people. You will be able to see the suffering in other people, and you will be able to see the solutions to the suffering, and you will be able to help a lot of people. So I turned that pain into a very higher calling of helping people. So I'm very grateful for that. If you need any support, just know that Catherine's here. I'm here. The universe, God, source, love, your future self, whatever it is, whether you're spiritual, whether you're an atheist, doesn't matter. Just know that you are loved and we believe in you. And if you want support, we're here to support you to get to your vision and get your goal, because you get to shine. You get to be your full potential of yourself in this lifetime. And when is now the time?
Unbelievable. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Sir Kaya Redford, for joining us today. Your wisdom, your insights, and dedication to empowering individuals and transforming lives is truly, truly inspiring. I actually think that this is probably one of the best conversations I've had on this podcast. It's pretty
it's up there.
Amazing. It's definitely up there.
We got to leave a little area for someone else too. Yes. I'm grateful.
You set the bar high.
I don't know how many of your viewers know of yourself deeply and of Lawrence deeply. I've now come to know both of you as super loving, caring individuals that are, you both have such a heart to serve, a heart to help people, and you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart. Just we're so blessed to have you, and we want to continue watching your show and sending people, because this is a conversation that is, at the end of the day, helping people achieve a life worth living.